Good evening and welcome to tonight's workshop. Our topic, A Better You. As a member of the lay organization, I joined Reverend Lawrence Pralo tonight, demonstrating the lay organization's intention to work very closely with AME 7 Health Ministry to work together to address the problems of health disparities and lack of access to health resources. Reverend Pralo.
Good evening. I am glad to be a part of the health ministry team in Richard Allen Young Adult Council as we pursue health equity and access to care for persons who have been historically underserved. Our presenters this evening include Mr. Ricky Day, the Director of Community Relations for Interlex, and Sister Rita Talbert, Director of Multicultural Outreach at United Healthcare. And I suspect our presenters are anxious to get started. So, Mr. Day, Sister Talbert, take it away.
Thank you so much, Reverend Pralo. Rita, would you like to say hello?
Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here.
And I'm going to share one little secret before we get started. Ms. Tolbert is an AME church member, so kudos to her.
Absolutely, fourth Episcopal District.
And you guys will let one slip away. I'm now a Baptist, but I did grow up in First AME in Los Angeles. So I moved to New York and I had to change. But we are so happy to be with you tonight. And we want to share this brief presentation with you, answer a few questions at the end, and then share with you how you can bring a better you to your congregations where you are. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and show you a couple of great videos.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of United Healthcare, welcome to A Better You. We're so glad you set time aside for your health. We promise you won't regret it. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "It is health that is real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver." That means that your health is one of your most valuable assets, and you must do everything you can to safeguard it. Every element of this event today is meticulously crafted around the African American experience, our cultural celebration, and the recognition that the ultimate power of wellness integrates the mind, the body, and the spirit. Now, we're not blindsided by the biological and environmental factors that plague us. For example, did you know that 20% of baby boomers have 5 or more chronic conditions? Or that the average Medicare member takes 4.5 prescriptions each month? Some of these numbers are even higher for our communities of color. We stand strong and confident to address these challenges because at United Healthcare, we proudly serve 1 out of every 5 people on Medicare. Our Medicare and Retirement Division is the largest business dedicated to the health and well-being of seniors. So we humbly share our mission, which is to help people live healthier lives and to help make the health system work better for everyone. It is also no coincidence that our mission ends with the word everyone, because we know that healthcare is deeply personal for each person. As African Americans, we are keenly aware of the health disparities that still exist between different racial and ethnic groups. But at United Healthcare, we're striving for health equity. That's when everyone has the same opportunity to be the healthiest they can be, regardless of their race, age, education, ethnicity, or socioeconomic status. Some of the ways that we're addressing these disparities is by delivering programs and services that reflect our members' unique needs and ethnic backgrounds. For more than 10 years, we've been sweeping across this country, delivering free Medicare educational events and live experiences in your communities, impacting thousands of lives. United Healthcare has strived to be a trusted resource for you. And during this pandemic, we're not deterred. In fact, we're more resolved given how it has consumed our communities of color. I encourage you to empower yourself with the collective information, resources, and insights from today and commit to be a better you. Because we've got a lot to cover. Because Medicare is complex, we are going to focus on the basics today. What is Medicare? Well, Medicare is a federal health insurance program for eligible U.S. citizens and legal residents. It's funded in part by your tax-paying dollars while you were working, and it is an individual health insurance plan. It does not cover your family. It is not Social Security. It is not Medicaid. And it's definitely not free. Now, who can get Medicare? U.S. citizens and legal residents. If you are a legal resident, you must have lived in the U.S. for at least the last 5 consecutive years, and including the 5 years just before applying for Medicare. You have to be age 65 or older. You could also be younger than age 65 if you have a qualifying disability. Let's start at the top. Hospital insurance and medical insurance. Hospital insurance was known as Part A, and it covered your hospital stays while you were admitted into the hospital. So your hospital room, the medications that you would use while you're in the hospital, your lab tests, the operating room. And then if you were in a skilled nursing facility, that's where you would be for rehab, for example, you would be covered under Part A as well. Here's how the cost breaks down. Most people don't pay a premium. There is a deductible. If you stay in the hospital longer than 60 days, you will pay a copay. If you stay longer than 90 days, your copay doubles. There's no out-of-pocket limit, and that means that if you use it, you're going to pay. The more you use it, the more you pay. So let's move on to Medicare Part B. Medicare Part B covers your doctor's visits and your outpatient care. So that includes when your doctor visits you in the hospital. That includes your lab tests, your x-rays, your MRIs, your EKGs, mental health care, your durable medical equipment. So things like your wheelchair, your walkers, your oxygen tanks. And so here's how the cost breaks down for Part B. There is a premium, but it's based on your income. There's a deductible, and then you move into a co-insurance. Medicare pays 80% of covered costs, you pay 20%. There are no out-of-pocket limits again. So I just shared with you what Medicare covers. Now let's talk about what Medicare doesn't cover, because that's equally as important. It definitely doesn't cover prescription drugs, routine dental, vision care, hearing, custodial care, and things of that nature. So what can you do in those situations? Well, there's Medicare supplement insurance, or what is known as Medigap. Now, what's the definition of supplement? Supplement is something that's added to something to enhance it or to complete it. And so Medicare supplement works with Medicare Part A and B, original Medicare, to pay for some of the costs that Medicare Part A and B don't cover. It cannot be used with Medicare Advantage plans, which we'll talk about later. Medicare supplement insurance plans may help to pay for Part B deductibles, Part A deductibles, co-pays, and co-insurance, and a list of other things. What it does not help to cover would be prescription drugs, dental, vision, hearing, glasses, and things of that nature. Now, here's how it works. If you look on the left-hand side of this screen, you'll see all of the benefits that Medicare supplement will cover. If you look on the top to the right, you'll see all of the various plans. You can look from left to right. Plan A covers the least amount. And then as you move forward, you'll see Plan G covers the most. So if you're looking for an option that has the most coverage, Plan G is probably where you want to focus. We just reviewed Medicare Part A, which covers your hospital visits, Part B, which covers your doctors and your outpatient visits, and then Medicare Supplement, which helps to cover or supplement some of the costs that Part A and B don't cover. Now let's move on to Part C. Part C is known as Medicare Advantage plans. This is just another way of getting Medicare insurance. It is offered by private insurance companies. This is how it works. So all Medicare Advantage plans must cover everything that is in Part A, with the exception of hospice care, which is covered anyway, and then all of the benefits of Part B. And some Medicare Advantage plans will then have prescription drugs built in, or some additional benefits like dental exams, cleaning, x-rays, eye exams, eyeglasses, hearing aids, or hearing tests. And you've also heard that there are some of these plans that also include gym memberships. So Medicare Advantage covers all of Part A, includes all of Part B, and then it adds all of these extra benefits in there. And they're offered by private insurance companies. There are 3 common types of Medicare Advantage plans: HMO, PPO, and S&P. HMO are health maintenance organization plans. And so these require that you seek out a provider in the network to be able to get your care. It doesn't cover care if you go outside of that network, except in emergency situations. You may have to choose a primary care doctor, and you may also be required to get a referral for a specialist from that doctor. A PPO plan, which you may be familiar with from working, is a preferred provider organization plan. So these plans give you a little bit more flexibility and freedom to choose the doctors and providers that you want. They allow you to see doctors and providers outside of that network. However, you'll usually have to pay more if you use a doctor or provider outside of the network. And typically, you don't require a referral to see a specialist. The next one is S&P, which stands for Special Needs Plans. So these were designed for people who have special health needs, maybe those who have multiple chronic conditions, including nursing home residents and people with Medicare and Medicaid. And they provide care managers or nurse practitioners to be able to help to manage the care those folks need. So those are the common plans, Medicare Advantage plans that you're going to come across. So here's some important information you should know about Medicare Advantage. First, you must be enrolled in Original Medicare Part A and B, and you must live in the service area that you are receiving care in. Can't be denied coverage based on your financial or your health status. And again, you may be required to be in a network. Your coverage is going to vary from plan to plan, from year to year, and from insurance company to insurance company. The annual out-of-pocket limit is there to protect you, and your premiums may also change from year to year. So that's Medicare Advantage plans. And remember, these plans are offered by private insurance companies like United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Humana, Cigna, Aetna, etc. Now, let's move on to Part D. Part D is a little bit easier to remember. It covers your prescription drug plans. There are two ways to get coverage. One, you can purchase it on your own and add that to an original Medicare plan, or you can choose a Medicare Advantage plan that already has a prescription drug plan built into it. Part D plans are also offered by private insurance companies. So what you need to know here is that each plan must offer prescription drug coverage that meets standards that are set by Medicare. And most Part D plans have their own list of drugs that are covered, and that list is called a formulary. Then the drugs are grouped into tiers. These formularies are grouped into tiers based on cost. So generally, if you're in a tier 1, you're paying some of the lowest cost. If you're in a tier 5, you're paying the higher cost. Deductibles can also be applied by tiers. So here you need to seek out your plan. As you shop for prescription drug plan, make sure that your medications are covered and under which tier they may fall. So here's what's important to remember on Part D. Again, you must be enrolled in Original Medicare. And you may require to be in a network of pharmacies as well. Your coverage, your cost is going to vary by plan, and it could change each year. And it varies also by insurance company. It's important to note that you are not stuck in your plan for life. So there's a Medicare annual enrollment period, October 15th through December 7th every year. This is when you can switch from your original Medicare to a Medicare Advantage plan or vice versa. So we've talked about Part A for hospital, Part B that covers doctors and outpatient, Part C, which is your Medicare Advantage plans that are offered by private insurance companies, and then Part D, which is your prescription drug plans insurance that's covered by private insurance companies. And we talked about Medicare supplement that supplements what A and B don't cover. I know that was a lot of information, but I hope you found it helpful. But please remember, we are here for you. And if you need additional information, it's just a phone call or a click away.
And that is Medicare in small bites. Before I share with you how you can bring this and the rest of our program to your congregations, Rita Tolbert is available for any questions that either of you have or anyone in the audience. Reverend Praylord, did you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions here.
You're clearly not of Medicare age yourself. I was thinking maybe there's somebody else who would like the information.
Well, then, Ricky, let me just use this time to just throw a few little points out there. One, it is so critical to be prepared for Medicare. You do not want to rush into this. And so that's why we put these on, so that we can help to educate you and to empower you to make the right decisions and the right decision for yourself. Because what plan may be good for your cousin or for your friend may not be the right plan for you. It really does depend on your lifestyle, on your health condition, and on your budget. So make sure you are preparing, you are well prepared, and do your research before you move into Medicare. So you're eligible for Medicare at age 65, but you can enroll for it up to 7 months prior to that. And if you're still working and past age 65 and you have insurance coverage, then I would just recommend that you contact your resources coordinator, and just to make sure that there are no changes to it. But typically, as long as you have full insurance after age 65 through an employer, you should be okay. But we're here to answer any additional questions just in case after this event. Feel free to send your questions to Reverend Parler, and we'll get them answered for you. Thank you so much for your attention, and thank you for allowing United Healthcare to come into your homes today.
We do have a question. One of the questions is, what are some things that we should consider when choosing a plan?
Yeah. Consider one, your budget. Consider your lifestyle. Your lifestyle would be: are you one that travels a lot? So if you travel a lot, you want to make sure that your plan will cover you when you do travel to other states, because there are some plans within your Medicare Advantage suite that are network. So most of your Medicare Advantage plans are network plans, and so they have restrictions about where you can go and who you can see. And so you want to make sure that if you are a snowbird, you travel, you're with the grandkids part of the year, you want to make sure that your plan is going to cover you when you travel. So like a Medicare supplement plan goes anywhere with you, as long as those providers accept Medicare. Same thing with original Medicare, that goes anywhere with you. You are not restricted to a network at all. The other thing is as I mentioned, your budget. What can you afford, right? You want to make sure that it is within those confines. If you're looking at a drug plan, I would recommend that you go to your pharmacist and have a printout of all of your medications in front of you as you search for different plans, so that you can make sure that all of those medications are covered. Make sure that your doctors are in the network if you choose a network plan. So those are some of the things. Keep in mind your out-of-pocket costs. Out-of-pocket costs are your premiums. Most people don't include the premiums in there, but they are your premiums, they're your deductibles, your copays. You want to ask all those questions. What would be my total out-of-pocket cost in a given year? Give me an average of that. And you want to be able to compare, go from one company to another to another. Have your spreadsheet in front of you. You got to be meticulous about it like that. And then you want to ask the same questions to each of those companies, and ask all of those questions, and then you can align it and then decide which one fits you better.
Great.
And I am a lot younger than 65. How can I help a friend or family member over the age of 65?
Well, actually, Reverend Parler, there's a lot of information that, and just terminology, for example, are big deals, right? Those are some of the things that you can help them with. In addition to that, I think just sitting with someone and understanding what their needs are, and then and then finding the resources. If you go on our site, and Ricky's going to tell you about it, it's abetteryou.info. We have some downloadable information on there. There is a document on there called What's Next. And that document gives you a lot of resources about that can help you for if someone is struggling financially. They want help with their premiums. They can't pay for their medications. We've got a list of all resources, their contact phone numbers, etc., that you can call and you can give them. But I would suggest you sit with them and call with them. But go to those resources. If they're interested in plans or they're not happy with the plan there and it's not covering their medications, you can look at those resources on there, Medicare.gov, and a lot of great resources, AARP, and you can help them with that. So I would recommend you go to that, and you'll see that, and you'll find it to be very helpful. And I'll say lots of patience because it takes time. And one other thing, just to let everyone know, and Reverend Parler, is that Medicare is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so call in the evening, when there's less traffic, and that way you can find someone who's more patient to answer all of your questions. They're very helpful.
Thank you, Sister Talbert. And say, for instance, if the person already have insurance, why would Medicare be beneficial to them?
It depends on what kind of insurance they have. In some cases, if you are still working, your employer insurance may be better. But in some cases, your Medicare may be better than your employer insurance. So you want to be able to compare the two at that time. In addition to that, Medicare is available to anyone within those criteria we set, over age 65. And so if you have insurance, you could also use Medicare as a supplement to your insurance. Right? So they need to just consider that. But if you have employer insurance, there are some employer insurance that have retirement plans. Go to your benefits coordinator and ask the question. Talk to them about comparing the two. Is it to my benefit for me to transition to Medicare now, or should I wait till later?
All right, then we have a question from Facebook here. How can how can you get your meds like diabetic medication when you are in a donut hole?
Well, when you're in the donut hole, in the donut hole, you are. It has changed considerably, so that the cost in the donut hole has gotten less. What happens is that you have to reach a certain limit within. You have to pay so much into that donut hole period, and then it moves you into catastrophic. When you go into the next phase, you pay about 5% of of the cost of your insurance. But the key is not to get into the donut hole. And I would say talk to your doctor to find out how can he help you to not get into the donut hole when you're paying so much. Some of those would be some ways to do that is to find out if generics work better for you. Can you try some other medications that will lessen your cost so you don't get into that donut hole period? Or are there other things that you can do that are not necessarily related to just medication, but are there exercise or are there other resources and things that you can do that can help you to mitigate the use of medication?
Thank you so much, Sister Talbert. Now we'll turn it over to Mr. Day.
Thank you so much. Thank you again, Reverend Praler. I just wanted to wrap up by sharing a few more details about the program. I think we all know as believers that our bodies are the temple in which the Holy Spirit resides. and we have a duty to take care of our bodies. And A Better You is really designed to help us be able to do that. A Better You is designed to be a virtual program that creates a wellness movement within the African American community among adults 50 plus and their caregivers of any age. You can partner with us to bring this informative content to your congregation or your community in a number of ways. But I just want to give you kind of an understanding of what the program is. Medicare and the education around Medicare and what insurance terminology is designed to give you literacy that helps you become an advocate and a partner in your healthcare. As Ms. Tolbert speaks about so eloquently on every occasion, there are these significant health disparities in our country. And we know some is systemic racism and there are other causes, but a lot of it is lack of knowledge and literacy around the terminology that's involved in healthcare. And so if you're not comfortable talking about it and being a partner in your healthcare, you're going to often have unfortunate outcomes. In addition to that, there's a lot of things we can do proactively to stay healthy. And so we wanted to look at health from a holistic view. Mind, body, and soul. And so A Better You is designed to do just that. You've just seen the Medicare portion of it, which is critical because it's what so many of us will have to rely on after 65 in order to get our medical care. But we also want people to understand that your spiritual and your mental well-being is a part of your overall health. We want people to understand the role of being physically fit, of eating right and doing all those things. And so we built this program and these live events that we've been doing for the last few years around that. And we've mirrored that on the website that we have. So there are two ways that you can bring this training to your congregation and to your communities. One is to go to the website. I'm going to share my screen again and show you the website. And on the website, and I'll walk you through it really briefly here, you go to abetteryou.info and you will find the website here. And you'll see this slider with all these things at the top. And you first have to sign up for access. Now, insurance is regulated at the state level. And even though this is an educational program and is completely free of charge, as far as insurance commissions are concerned, they still consider it advertising. So we have to be approved at every state level. And in 2022, we'll be all over the country. But in this calendar year, we are in 10 markets. And you have to be in one of those 10 markets in order to visit the website and receive this information. Those markets, just FYI, I'm sure you're all curious. They are New York, Washington, D.C., Virginia, Maryland, North and South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, and Texas. And so you would go to the website and you type in your name. Mine is going to autofill here. You type in your name and information. You hit submit. You hit submit. There we are. And if you're in one of those states like I am, you're signed up, you go in and you get started. And that's it. We're not selling you anything. No insurance agents are going to drop out of the sky and try to sell you policies. It's just information here that's designed to help you be a better you. And so you can see the Medicare introduction video that you saw a little bit earlier tonight. There's also a Get to Know Medicare video, which is the video that you saw with Rita Tolbert. There's a version of that video that's created for the website that has a different person narrating it. We also have we have inspirational remarks by Reverend Lawrence Aker III. He's a Baptist preacher here in New York. There's also Ernestine Shepherd. She is an 87, I'm losing track of her age at this point, but an 85 or 87-year-old bodybuilder. Oh, thank you, Rita. Guinness Book of World Records bodybuilder. And she made an appearance in the Beyonce Black is King video. And she talks about that appearance in the video here on the website. Her trainer, former Mr. Universe, Yanni Schomburger, has a video where he shares wellness secrets, things like drinking more water and nutritional tips that are going to help you. And then you lace up your sneakers and Ernestine and Yanni take you through a workout that you can do at home, really kind of regardless of the condition you're in. They would show you exercises that you can do from the comfort of your home in order to stay physically fit. Then on this other tab where it says take home the virtual bag, we have a number of downloadable materials here. We have guides for understanding Medicare, What's Next brochure and Yanni's top 5 fitness tips. If you look at the What's Next brochure, you can see here it'll open up automatically in Acrobat. Mine's taking a little longer, but here we are, and you see it, I guess, Medicare supplement, and it tells you about the cost. It gives you contact information and resources where you can ask questions and get the answers that you need, and it's really a wonderful resource. And this website is available to each of you free of charge. And that is one way where people can take their health into their hands and this education into their own hands and visit the website, right? And everybody who's watching tonight, I encourage you to please do that tonight. Right after you log off of here, just go to abetteryou.info, put your information in, and you can go ahead and look at the site and see some of the materials there. The second way that you can participate, and I encourage this way because I think it's a lot even more helpful, is you can do a virtual Medicare workshop, much like what we're doing here tonight. I will provide you with the resources, the videos that you saw earlier tonight, and any of the resources from the website, and you can craft your own Medicare workshop within your congregation, your community center, your conferences, what have you, right? And then Ms. Tolbert and I can make ourselves available to join you and conduct a question and answer session right after you watch the materials and people have an understanding and an overview of Medicare. You guys, I know I'm a former A&E person, so I know how creative and enterprising our faith is. And so you can do things like you can have one of your ministers do opening remarks and talk about the role of your spiritual health to your overall well-being. Then you can play a couple of the videos. Then Ms. Tolbert can come and answer questions live. You've got the ability to mix and match the elements and create a robust program for your congregation that can help them be ready to go into this next phase of their life, answer the questions that they have about Medicare, and most importantly, be more medical term literate so that they feel comfortable being partners and advocates for themselves. And if you're their children or caregivers, you can be advocates for them. This is all offered without cost, no cost at all. I cannot stress enough because it always sounds too good to be true, right? But United Healthcare is a company that's committed to the well-being of the people we serve around the country. And this Medicare training and this education is helpful. It's going to help people become healthy, stay proactive about their health, and it's a great benefit to all. And we're happy to offer it free of charge. Now, as you can imagine, it takes a lot of time and a lot of resources to do this. And so the only way we will be able to continue doing this is to get the kind of support that's necessary to show the people at United Healthcare that people do care about this information, that this training is falling on the ears and hearts and minds of people that appreciate it and will take it and use it. If you are indeed interested in having this program come to your community, you can first of all contact me directly. It's ricky.day, and I'm putting this in the chat box here so that you can put it on screen possibly. But it's Ricky, RICKY .day, DAY, at interlex.com. You can email me there and say that you'd like this training and share your information with me. I will reach out to you and talk to you directly and help you bring this together. Because it's virtual, because all the elements are created, because Ms. Tolbert and I have nothing else to do with our lives, we can activate pretty darn quickly. So if you saw this tonight and you wanted to do something in the next couple of weeks, right before Thanksgiving or right after Thanksgiving, we're happy to accommodate you and make that happen. The other reason you may want to do that now is because open enrollment is going on now. And the people who have care and want to make changes and decisions and have questions, this is the perfect time to get this, all right? And then the second thing you can do, and I encourage you all to do, please reach out. I can share and will share with Dr. Days and the rest of your staff a wonderful flyer that we have about the website and links to the website so that you can drive, at the very least, you can send people to the website to view these materials on their own and to start their own journey towards learning more about Medicare and being proactive about their own health. And of course, you're going to show that there is a demand for this information and help me be able to continue helping our people all over this country. I see that there's a couple more questions on the online platform, so I'm going to turn it back over to Ms. McClam and Reverend Praylor. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those. But for Rita and Medicare, go to questions now, please. Thank you. Dylan, you see that question that popped up there?
All right. You see? Yeah. All right. So, question: explain why medical offices say that your Medicare becomes your primary insurance when you have had the state plan all the time. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, that is really determined by what the requirements of your state plan. So Medicare can function as a primary insurance or it can function as a secondary insurance. It really does depend on the insurance company and the relationships that they have. So Medicare functions also as primary or secondary with Medicaid. They work together, but it really does depend on the requirement of your primary insurance, of the other insurance, how they play together. So I would need to know the specifics on it to know why and why they don't, or how they work together in relation.
All right. I think we have one more question. Right. Right, there you go. Sister McClan.
Yes. I think we want to take that last question. Do you have to get Part B at 65 if you already have health insurance?
The answer is no, you don't have to get Part B at age 65 if you already have full comprehensive health insurance. If you're on COBRA, that does not apply. So you want to make sure you have comprehensive insurance that covers your hospital, your doctors, and your medications. The exchanges also does not count as credible insurance. So again, whoever your insurance administrator is, go to them and verify if your insurance is credible insurance. So if it is, if you work for a company that has over 20 employees, typically those have full insurance. Check with them, and you may not have to enroll in Part B.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Day, and thank you, Ms. Talbert, for your time of sharing with us this evening. Our time has been well spent. We are well on our way to becoming better. So thank you. We also want to acknowledge our leadership here in the 7th Episcopal District, who is always looking for programs such as this so that we can become better. So we thank God this evening for our leadership team of starting with our Bishop Samuel Lawrence Green Sr., our innovative and capable bishop, and our supervisor, Sister Phyllis Nadine Green. We are also grateful for our lay leadership, Brother Keith Britton, our Episcopal president, and the chairperson of our health ministry, Dr. Jock Days, along with our co-presenter here this evening, Reverend Lawrence Prelo. Our time here has been well spent. Good evening.
Thank you so much, Sister McClain.
You're right.
And as always, make sure that you all go to the ame7.church website to receive additional information and help somebody else as we continue on the journey to make sure that everybody is healthy. So we want to remind each of you to be a better you, because the best is yet to come. God bless you. It is our prayer. Blessings.